moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouakai only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people.
He understands how
Yes, he could have done that.
He knows how to do it.
When President Bouakai,
etc. At certain point in time, we sit for us to share button, share with friends, share with family members, and we will be good. We will be good. We will be good. Time is of essence, and it's not in our favor. So we are going to start straightly, with our discussion. But before that, there are some surface issues that I just want us to just, kind of do some basic housekeeping over before we go to our discussion. From information that we've gathered today, we saw it, on the social media, and we highlighted it here, I think, when either yesterday or the day before. But the dirt is taking over the city. The dirt is taking over the city. And there are many people who are worried that if nothing is done, there's going to be a terrible outbreak in Liberia. Remember, during the campaign, we saw the Unity Party at the time, the now MCC boss, Siafa, going all around the place and saying that he is the expert. He can do this thing. He understands how to do it. He knows how to do it, and etc. etc. At certain point in time, we even saw them talking about the issue of Zoomlion. But from all indication, it's like dirt have taken over the entire Monrovia, to the extent that even a minister in this government, in the Bouakai-led administration, could not even hold back his anger, had to come and tell Bouakai that, look, Bouakai, you are sleeping. You are doing nothing. Dirt is taking over. It took the minister, because it's like the citizens themselves, they've talked on several occasions, and it's like, nothing is happening. And this thing is affecting people. That the minister had to leave his office, came down with phone to call the president attention, not even the MCC boss attention, because from all indication, according to the video that we saw, he said that he contacted other people and they said they have reached out to MCC boss, Siafa, and all these other people that have turned blind eyes and closed their ears on the plight of the people. So he had to come down and call on Bouakai that Bouakai has to wake up. I want to hear from you, Honorable Dobayo. What is the sign? What does that mean for us to see a minister leaving his office and calling on the president? Not even calling on the people who were appointed to do that, but calling on the president. Where are we? I'm sorry, you are muted, sir.
Thank you very much.
You are muted?
Muted, okay. Am I okay now?
Yeah, very okay.
So thank you very much, my dear brother Prince Sharif. When you talk about waste proliferation, it directly falls in my field of study. It directly falls in my life and career. So solid waste and its improper management is a significant issue to cities, significant issue to urbanization, a significant issue to both human and animal health. It's a significant issue to flora and fauna, plants and animals, to our environment. It affects every walk of life. Unregulated dump site, unregulated garbages everywhere is an issue, that has cascading effect. It has long effect on on area walks of life. To be very specific, you beyond the economic impacts, beyond what you see physically, the indirect consequences, long-term consequences of waste has to do with its effect on our respiratory system, like lungs diseases and lungs cancer, as a result of, when you pass on the road, carriage key, brush key, and you inhaling bad smell, it causes some, these are pollutants that causes some, some irritation to the human body. And if the human body cannot respond to that positively, in the long run, it could lead to respiratory defect and lungs cancer and some infection and vector-borne diseases, So cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, malaria, all of these contaminated garbages could leach into the air surface and end up in our groundwater. When enter in our groundwater and we consume that groundwater over time, it leads to those things that were naming, like the diarrhea, typhoid, and some vector-borne diseases and infections. So it's dangerous. Even on human health, that was just, on human health, like I was saying again, it can increase people's ability to born children, birth defect, and communicable diseases. And it's just so dangerous. Water pollution, leaching from decomposing waste, it could contaminate ground and surface water, like I said, air pollution, and it has effect again on climate change. Most of our waste in Liberia are plastic waste. Plastic is non-biodegradable. Many plastic doesn't expire, it doesn't get rotten. When it enters the air surface, it compromises the soil ability to germinate plants, for plants to grow properly. So the issue about waste proliferation in our country is cross-cutting. It affects all walls of life. And so unsurprisingly, we see a government who they are responsible in terms of the solid waste management. We see a government that understands nothing about waste management and proper waste handling. You got to handle waste in a way that from the generation, from the storage, from the transportation and disposal, you have to be involved very sustainably. But what we see right before you is an embarrassment. What we see right before you is an accident in waiting. What we see right before you is a health hazard issue right before our eyes, and our government is very careless. They said nothing about it. They just talk. They do nothing, Mr. Prince Sharif. So for me as an environmentalist, for me as a waste specialist, I understand the direct and indirect effect of waste. And so the minister, Mark Jabate, he's the minister for urban, assistant minister for urban affairs. This falls directly within his scope. All municipal government authority directly fall under his authority. I want to tell him to elevate the debate from that level. The essence of being in power is to act. You can be in power and you still be complaining. Mark Jabate and all of those around here who said they have all of the prescription to the problem. So for him to come and be yelling and trying to vindicate himself, for me, it doesn't solve the problem. It only exposes how weak, how myopic, how short-sighted this government is. The government has no prescription for the issues that are facing the people. West, we already started a process in Cruise of your field, because when time has overlaid its carrying capacity. And Mayor Monrovia, on some other extended multilateral engagement, he initiated a process, and me from the EPA, back then we were involved into ensuring that a new waste site is being formulated so that waste will be directed there. But this government, they care less. They talk, all they do is just propaganda. To them, leadership is propaganda. Leadership is just about lies. But instead, leadership is just beyond what they think leadership is. You can lie away to power, you cannot lie away to govern. So today, in short, our environment is under threat because all of these polluting, all of these open air defecation on our dump site, leading to air pollution, will affect our climate. And most of these dump sites, you can see some leaching, something like water leaking. These are all methane gases being produced. These methane gases, they can contribute to global warming and land degradation, soil contamination, and loss of the urban characteristic. All urban environment has specific characteristics. This will be lost because our ecosystem will be threatened, and this will lead to plants and animals being killed and loss of biodiversity and that place will be considered as a dead zone. So in short, it's not healthy, and I hope our government can do better on this one.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dogwayu. You know, looking at what is happening in Liberia, especially with the issue of dirt, is becoming very concerning. You know that most of our people, they almost like about maybe one would say 50% or maybe 45% of our population, they depend on, somebody would say, borehole. Most of the time, these people use either some kind of well water or well water in the area there, you know, to cook, to do other stuff. Even right in Mosorado County is challenged, especially when it comes to, you know, pipe-borne water. And to see the way and manner in which these dirt have been abandoned, then it leads me to the question to ask, where is the government, or what is the strategy that the government has in ensuring that these dirts, you know, are properly disposed? Yesterday, I could remember they were talking about the issue of Zoom Lion, bringing Zoom Lion, as if there are not Liberians who could take over that particular maybe contract and see how best they can be able to, you know, try to clean our city. We saw in the previous government, like you rightly said, we saw the effort of the previous government, where there were workers who were almost like 24 hours working to ensure that, you know, the issue of dirt is taken from the streets and taken to where it's supposed to be. Yes, there were challenges, but we saw a frantic effort on the part of the WIA-led administration under the guardians of, you know, the Lord Mayor, Honorable Jefferson Tambakoji, was the SG. We saw that. But to the extent where, even as we speak, NCC workers are even crying because they've not even received pay yet. They've not received pay. But yet you have CFA, who is receiving thousands of United States dollars from billboards and etc. But the workers cannot even take pay. And fellow Liberians, I want to show something here. We have a video here that I want to show, just a few minutes, because time is not in our favor. These are NCC workers who went to the Ministry of Finance to go and protest because the people have been abandoned. People who are supposed to clean the street, people who are supposed to ensure that our cities are adequately maintained and the environment is safe. I will play you a few bars of this video when they went to the Ministry of Finance to go and protest.
No, we see you, the people are just enjoying there, so you're talking to them. For you. You're talking to them, so that's why we ask him.
And the security is even driving them. So let's just listen to a few bars of this. Are we carry in front so that, you know?
I see you with a lot of people. What is that?
Is a situation of the last year of 2024, where two different sectors of MCC employees were taken from the payroll, one on the basis of the side data account with the CFA account, and after the account, some of our police were sorry for health issues, other issues, they were in here for the account. When they came back for work, they went to the entity and passed on the process. When they set the solution, they go to CSA. They went to CSA and said, all the things is the education process. So CSA really set up their payroll. Oh my God, you really set up payroll. That was the education. The next aspect is, GSC said they did an audit in 2022. And that audit, some of the SAA staff were attracted from the audit that their account number were all money and all the account number. Because of that, GSC 2024 September instructed CSA to block that is staff account.
Is that GSA?
GSC. Okay, yeah. GSC instructed CSA to black the staff account. When the account was black for 2 months, after we get through the verification, they were identified and yeah, the staff was then the issue, the staff was reinstated on payroll. So after 3 months, 5 months, and 4 months, and 2 months, we said, okay, nobody worry. You are placed up back on payroll. Our 3 months money that we worked for, we didn't receive. After we get it, MCC as an institution cell, after we follow the process. The 8 hours of MCC there is well, we follow the process through the mail. The mail send a communication for us to be paid. They are going to have a send April 2025, the communication being here, we come from 1 point to another. So what the means to another?
Now, I'm going to, because of the time, I'm going to remove this. Honorable Dogba, you listening to the workers since 2024. Josiah Joker decided to carry on a process. Whether he was excited because he was appointed as CSA boss, decided that, well, he would do what he wants to do. He was all around the place taking people's name. I mean, workers' name from on payroll and say that they are ghosts. The people not in government, they need not exist. They brought the people from outer space and they put them there. According to this particular video, as I'm listening to, the brother said that people names who were removed from on the payroll, they were legitimate workers who were working. But because Josiah Joker was in, he's a political zealot. He's not looking at the reality. He jumped out, or because he wanted to prove a point that, yeah, you know, the payroll is blotted with ghost names. He went and took people's name from on the payroll. And these people were present. Only to verify it and see that the names that he took from on the payroll, these people were present. They were there. Now it is going to almost 6 months, according to the brother. They've not received their back pay that is supposed to pay them. Even in this month, when you're listening to the video, this year that they've entered, they owe them 3 months. What is happening? Josiah Joker came with this particular zeal, and now we are seeing the trickle-down effect. That the streets are abandoned, the dirt are abandoned. Drivers who are supposed to go to take this dirt, they are also on strike. Where are we, sir?
So you saw from this Africa publication, you know, trying to give a breakdown of the contradiction in both IMF and Ministry of Finance. A few months back, the former Assistant Minister for Development, Brother Benedict Koluba, talked about it on OKFM, and then my dear brother Amos will have a call to put a Joker on the spot. Yet, in his arrogance, his professional and arrogance, his desire to prove that he knows everything about everybody, he blatantly refused to correct himself. He wrote a very funny report, lied about the numbers, a quantitative inaccuracy. You know, he just made up numbers because he wants to fool his president who doesn't have energy to read. And so you have Joker making a report, lied that in March 2024, 188 employees were removed, and then $112,604.0 was saved. In May to April, he said 507 were removed, 193,236 were saved. Now coming down to all the way October, he said additional 1,539 persons removed. The contradiction there is that IMF in February, in a country report, they said 3,775 employees were removed during the same period, with 4.4 million in total saving, more than twice the amount reported by CSA. So if you're removing more number from the payroll, you should be saving government 4.4 million. But the 4.4 million you say he's saving for government, that should be saved for government, is not reflecting. So he is reporting lower than what should be physical cash available.
So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, is a privilege again for us to be on here. And we want to use this time, as usual, to welcome each and every one of you under the Palava Hut. We want to say thank you so much for everything you continue to do. We appreciate you for your hard work. We thank you so kindly that you continue to stand by us in disseminating the information. We want to say thank you so much. Like someone will say that words are inadequate to express how grateful we are to you and to all of you for what you continue to do for this platform. The platform continues to grow on a daily basis, not because of us, not because we are superb, but because of you, your commitment, and that you remain very committed to what you've, uh, sworn an oath to defend. That is Liberia and your institution and His Excellency President Dr. George Manawia. This is the reason why you continue to support our effort. We are grateful and we want to say thank you so very kindly. We want to use this time to welcome Christopher Bernard. Thank you so much for joining us. Mary Doe, how are you? Thank you so much. Wisa Koli, we appreciate you. I want to welcome my own lovely sister, Hawa Tote. How are you? I hope you are doing great, well, and fine. Thank you so much for your presence here. I want to welcome Mountain Top. Thank you so much for your presence here, Mountain Top. Nina Kuya, how are you? We appreciate your presence always. It's a privilege for us to have you here. I want to say welcome to Otalia Monkonje. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Sorry, Monjulo. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for your presence here. May all of you that are joining us on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, and etc. We welcome all of you and appreciate all of you. Ralph, how are you? Thank you so much. Tita, how are you? B says you are highly welcome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Jay Blackie, I want to say you are highly welcome. I appreciate you. Zach Bayu. I mean, all of you, the names are just coming up. Alvin Noah, thank you so much for joining us. Fred Sawi, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yuti Sir King, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Siata, how are you? Siata Jawi, thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. Lucy, thank you so much. Merido, we appreciate your presence. I mean, all of you distinguished people that are joining us, we want to say welcome and thank you so very kindly. You know, my people, Liberia, under this particular useless government, continue to be in news. Continue to be in news. This government will never cease amazing us with some of the most terrible news that you can ever think of. Some of these things are not the things that we want to be saying out here as it relates to the news. But again, we have a responsibility. We have a duty. Like I always say, our duty and responsibility is to give you the information. And it is up to you how you manage that information, how you accept that information, how you see that information, how you process and proceed with that information. We do not want to be held responsible for not giving you the information. And at the end of the day, when we are no longer here, then people say, oh, but this person here, that person here, he compromised this and compromised that. That's why we gave you the information, and it is up to you to do whatever you can do with it. I want to say thanks to all of you. Just day before yesterday, a representative gave me a call. A lawmaker, let me just say, a lawmaker gave me a call. The last time I had a show here where I talked about the serious health disaster that our people who are working in the mining sector are faced with. I was able to outline that most of these people who are working on these mining sites, they do not have the requisite safety materials to work with. I outlined that here. I told us in that particular presentation that day that when you go to King Jaw, when you go to Ashla Meta, you go to most of these areas, most of these mining areas, you will find out that the people that are working in those areas, They've been left in a very vulnerable condition as it relates to their protection. And I also said on this platform that if care is not taken, in the few years to come, there will be a serious outbreak in those areas that are hosting these various mining, how you call a concession. I said it here. You know, sometimes that's why I always say to people, be careful how you portray yourself, what you say, and how you say it. Because people are watching us that we don't know. There are a lot of people that are watching us that we don't know. I had that show, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I talked about that. So this particular lawmaker, I want to say kudos to him, you know, on anonymity. I'm not going to, you know, be asked not to. So he reached out to me. He said, Prince, I'm listening to this particular show you had XYZ Day very religiously. And you were talking on some of the things that are happening at these various mining sites, blah, blah, blah. So we started with a conversation. He said, how did you know that XYZ are happening, or where you got your report from? And I told him that we have our sources in those areas, in those counties. We have people that we communicate with, people that communicate with us, people that gave us information, and etc. So he said, okay, that's good. Is it possible you can give me your maybe contact of some of your sources? Because of the trust that I have in this person, I said, no problem. I can give you 1 or 2, you know, of my sources so that you can verify it. So he was able to verify it, fellow Liberians. And one of the things that was really shocking was that the Ministry of Labor, the Environmental Protection Agency, that should be the ones going at these various mining sites, ensuring that those mining sites are in compliance with safety regulation for those who are working. The Ministry of Labor, who is supposed to be there to ensure that the people who are laboring at that part or at those sites, that those people are working under a dignified, a secure, and a safe environment. Fellow Liberians, the Ministry of Labor decided that they would do nothing about it and they only care about the money. Once they issue permit, they give it and they go. They don't want to know. The Environmental Protection Agency that should ensure that those companies that are operating in those counties, that they are actually, you know, preserving or protecting our environment, that chemicals that are used to either, you know, extract those minerals, that those chemicals are adequately and properly disposed, that they are not just, you know, waste in our lake and etc. They have also abandoned their own responsibility. So this lawmaker went and they did their own, you know, whatever, and they decided to call some authorities from the Ministry of Labor. And I want to say I am grateful that we, me and you, we were able to highlight that issue, that the Ministry of Labor was called by the lawmakers. I will give you an update again. So I'm saying this to me, thank you also very kindly, because we continue to work together to expose ills in society. Do I believe that the lawmakers will take the requisite action against these people and ensure that our people are protected? That is another thing that I cannot guarantee right here. No, let me repeat myself. Am I 100% certain that those that have been called from the Ministry of Labor, that whether these people that have been called, that the lawmakers will ensure that the Ministry of Labor begin to do a vigorous, approach as it relates to the safety of those who are working there? Do I believe that they are going to take the necessary hard action? Well, for that, again, I want to say, I remain hopeful. I remain hopeful. And the reason why I'm saying I remain hopeful is because these things, they are discussed, and at the end of the day, when it comes on the floor, Even Satan get uno people then web can praise him. Get uno people then web can protect him and talk good about him. So what I'm saying is that in order for decisions to be made and to be taken, you need a majority. And you have a house where most of these lawmakers, they are after their pockets. They will sign into law a quick deal that comes with money that we call an agreement. They will sign it within less than 24 hours. They will finish signing it. Then they think that it's in you and our interest. They don't care about us. No, they don't care about us. What affects us is for us. What affects them that all of us is for. They will ensure that all of us will pull hands together to protect them. That is the country we find ourselves in. But again, I want to be grateful that our, podcast was used to throw out the light, and that identical lawmaker was able to, do the requisite thing. We pray that it worked. So that is that. There is another troubling news that I want to bring to your attention, fellow Liberians. And this has to do with the Ministry of Education. I want to welcome, sorry, I didn't inform my people. My people will be here, but I didn't even inform them, Yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll be here. So we received another terrible and horrible news from the Ministry of Education. But before that, I want to remind all of you, if you can remember, we broke a news out here that about 27 girls in Grand Cape County, school going age, they were impregnated by teachers. Let me bring you that so you can see it. Let me just bring you that. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay, fine. That's good. I'm sorry. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let me just bring this. Okay, so now I can share this. Just bear with me. Sometimes, we are presenting at the same time producing. So sometimes, just take it easy with us. This is from the government-owned radio station or the government-owned network. I want to repeat myself. You are looking at it here, right? This is the government-owned network, LNTV. The government-owned TV, the government-owned network, the government-owned information arm. That's why I decided to bring it so you can see it. One thing I must say thanks to all of us here on this platform, we try to bring the facts to all of us with pictorial and video evidence. So this is the picture. This is the government-owned media that reporting this. It's not me, it's not you, that the government. So let's read what the government is telling us here. More than 27 students are reportedly pregnant at the St. J. Public School in less than 6 months. It was the beginning of this month. This news was announced, or this particular news was broken on LNTV on the 9th of February. We are in February. Today is the 25th. So on the 9th of this month, the government-owned news, they broke the news and said 27 students are reported pregnant at the St. J. Public School in less than 6 months. The situation has raised serious concern among parents and school authority in the county. Sources: ELBC Grand Cape County correspondent. Here is it. I'm going to move this before some of you, oh, I Prince, that you can tell that auntie, I don't talk what I know, I don't have proof of. The thing where I know I get proof of, I can't talk it. The one where I get proof on, that the one where I can talk. So you saw it in Grand Cape County. Another one too happened in Bone County, where a teacher impregnated a umpa you are just on there pay that was just to sleep with the people's children. I don't want you to believe. I want to bring that other news again for you to see it. So let's go ahead. Oh, sorry. Let me bring you that news before. Okay. So just bear with me. Let me bring this information to us here so that you can see it. I don't want for it to be just, here what we do now. So bear with us while we do this together. So let me put this here so that you can see what we are talking about. Here's the news, right? Here's the news. Teenage pregnancy crisis in Bone County. Fokole midwife raises concern. Here is it. You see there? Let's read few bars of it. Let's just read few bars. Fokole Town, Bone County. Alicia M. Mambo, a dedicated registered midwife at the Fokole Maternity Waiting Home, has raised the alarm over the influx of teenage pregnancy at the facility. Teenage pregnancy is a significant issue in the region and Liberia as a whole. According to the World Health Organization, adolescent age between 15 to 19 years in low and middle income country have an estimated 21 million pregnancy each year. With estimated 50% being unintended, these pregnancies often result in high risks of complications for both the mother and the baby in sub-Sahara. Let's leave sub-Sahara. Let's come to Africa. Based on data from John Flomo Bakulu Government School Administration, during the period from 2020 to 2000 all the way to 2004, 2005, the school recorded a total number of 34 teenage pregnancy dropout, while 16 at the elementary level, 18 at the junior high level. These teenage pregnancy led to students dropping out of school. Now let's leave from here. You've seen it, right? You've seen it. I don't know what is happening under this government. I don't know what is happening. So we'll go to the Ministry of Education website, or we'll go to their page, whatever they call it. We'll go there. We'll go to the page. Ministry of Education, Republic of Liberia, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. That's good. Here is it. So there's the Ministry of Education. Let me just share this here with you. There's the Ministry of Education. This is the Minister of Education, Jaso Jala. When I tell you that these people are useless, and in a civil society, idiot like these will never be sitting in these kind of offices. Some of you get vexed and say, but why, Prince, you talking like this? I am talking like this because when this news, when we get them and we verify them, it is truth, it get to us because we are fathers. Because some of you are mothers. We are caretakers, and our children are in Africa going to school. Our children are in that particular society. So to see the agency, a ministry that is supposed to protect our children, and these idiots are not protecting our children, then we get furious. Because who knows? My children that are there, they are not extraordinary, that people can touch them, or they cannot be a victim of these things that we are reading. My children are not in glass house. They don't have special mark on them. They are like any other child that is in the community that is facing these issues. So the ministry that is supposed to take charge, the ministry that is supposed to come down high, when these idiots receive our money and they've been paid, and at the end of the day cannot do their work, then we are angry. It's not that we hate them. No, we don't have any hate in our heart, because we get place for hate in us. But we get angry because these people have refused to do their work. Whenever government officials refuse to do their work, you know who becomes the victim? You and myself. Our children becomes the victim of their lackadaisical attitude. So those of us who will stay in front of the mic, those of us who people will listen to, when we come here, we are human beings too. So we put our feelings there. It's not that that's who we are. No. We are not angry people. But we are angry because these idiots are taking our money, taxpayer money that we are paying them, and they are relaxing while our children that the idiot are supposed to be protecting are not protecting these children. They are protecting their jobs instead of protecting their bank accounts, instead of protecting the people who they're supposed to be there for. So Jaso Jala, the woman here, you think she from the United States here? You think if this woman was in this United States and such a thing is happening, the woman will be able to sit down in your position? Long time she will resign. The people will make her to resign. But you see, that's the kind of society we find ourselves in, Liberians. We are so, I don't know if I should say we are so meek, or we are so weak, or we are so gullible, or we are so magnanimous. I don't know how to put it. I don't know the language to be able to use. That we allow people who we are supposed to be questioning, people who are supposed to be answerable to us, that these people have decided that we will be their slaves while they become our masters. So the Ministry of Education put something out here. It has been out there, and I want to read it. I'll show you the one from King Jaw. I'll show you the one from Grand Cape. I'll show you the one from Bomi. I'll read this one from the Ministry of Education. Let's read it quickly. Ministry of Education imposes enforcement action on St. Teresa Convent Catholic School, February the 25th, 2026, Monrovia, Liberia. Following its review of the inappropriate performance held at St. Teresa Convent School, the Ministry of Education has taken formal enforcement action for breaches of duty of care, students safeguarding and supervision standards. The ministry determined that the event, which involved indecent exposure before students, constitute a serious failure of child protection obligation in a school environment. Despite a formal invitation to address the matter, the Catholic School Secretariat was represented at the meeting. However, no administrator from the St. Teresa Convent School were present. Up to the date of this communication, no written explanation has been received from the school regarding their non-attendance. The absence of the school administrators in this context was deemed a failure to comply with the ministry's summary and regulatory expectation. Pursuant to the Education Reform Act, the Code of Conduct for Liberia School, and related regulatory provisions, the ministry has imposed the following sanctions. The ministry imposed following sanction. Number one, a financial penalty of Liberia 500,000. You know that the first thing they will put in from the people, they care about the safety of our children. But let's go ahead. Let's read, right? Let's go ahead. So a financial penalty of 500,000 payable within 14 days. Mandatory disciplinary procedures against administrators and teachers responsible for supervision with evidence of action to be submitted to the ministry. A nationwide prohibition on the artist Crystal the Change from performing at school-related events for the remainder of the academic year. A requirement for a formal apology and corrective action plan from the school administration. Number 5, coordinated students counseling and parental engagement through the Montserrado County Education Office. These actions are intended to protect students, uphold safeguard standards, and reinforce accountability across education sector. You see, sometimes when I get vexed, I say these people are a bunch of fools and they are idiots. I will leave a woman picture here for you to see her because she's a disgrace to the education sector of Liberia. The woman here, Jaso Jala, she's a disgrace. So these people took an action, right, against St. Teresa Convent School, finding them 500,000. That's a private school. That is one school. But we did not see a press release from these stupid people here on their website as it relates to what happened in Grand Cape County along with these students. We didn't see nothing like that. Go on the thing we are talking. I went there, I perused before coming here to say it. When teachers are impregnating our children in this high quantity, 27 upward, when Bone County schools, the students there, they've been abused by teachers. These foolish people that are the Ministry of Education, these idiots that are there, they have never taken an action to ensure that teachers are placed behind bar for these actions. No, they ain't get time for it. It ain't happening in the country. That in the country, it's happening. These people don't have time for you and myself. They think that you see they're doing a morale. In Liberia, that's how we call it. We call it morale. They want to show that they get power. But you leave our children, the most vulnerable children. Look, whether you like it or not, Monrovia, to some extent, people can make noise. So some of the acts that are committed, or some of the acts that people are intending to commit, to some extent, they will try to keep it cool. They will try to restrain themselves. They will try to take it easy. They will try to hold themselves. But the most vulnerable region of our country, they idiot, then they get time for it. No, they don't have time for it. These people are not going to take actions on the teachers. In Grand Cape County, Sinje Public High School, where they just impregnating the children. No, Jaso Jala ain't get time for that one. And I Cape Man County, that played a butch. Our children in Bone County, where 13 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, who going to school, the teachers are impregnating them. You know, say no teacher beyond bow. You not hear that one. When this woman came first from the United States, went to Liberia, she was on what we call a safari. She was passing around. She said she go and inspect in the counties. I said it on the scene show. I said, your leader, woman, Jaso Jala. She still on here. She have been given government job. She want to go and do her lay and pale around. She going pale around. Because for long, she had that opportunity. In that government money, that government cash in, everything, that government. So she go in. She will get money. So this fool called Jaso Jala went to Liberia, got in car and said she was doing what we call a county tour. You would think that the county tour will be able to ensure that she is adequately informed to take appropriate action. But no, where's her? Where's her? Almost sitting down in Monrovia. When our students are sitting on the ground in the county, but Monrovia, she wants show say she get power. She working. St. Teresa Convent will find your 500,000. Some of the most terrible environments are not in Monrovia. They are out of Monrovia. They are out of Monrovia. Where our students are sitting on the ground. Where when you see schoolhouse, you scare. See one school where you think, oh, just say pay chicken. We'll get some of the video here. Let me see if I can just play some of them. Let's see if we can play some. Coming. Somebody think we got to play some of the thing for our people to see. Yeah. Let me see. I think so. I think we have. Just bear with me. Some of these things, and not something that we plan to sunny about, but when the need arises, then we just come to give you the information with pictorial evidence of what we are talking about. So bear with us. At times, we check, we may not get it. At times, we get it. So let's see here. So let's see. Let me show you some of the environment. Right in rural, what you call Songana Pleo. Here is it. Courtesy of how you call the people, the sheriff. Let me just say the sheriff. Here is it. I want you to look at this school.
Public school. Wow.
Here.
Continuation of the Chismaberg Public School.
Chismaberg here. Wow. I want you to look. Chismaberg here.
With all the millions. Fellow, like you see for yourself. Just see for yourself.
You see that? Jaso Jala, ministry, that government school here. Government school.
So this
look at the public school.
It's abandoned completely.
You see that? Look in there. Look.
It's abandoned completely.
And
the folks at the ministry of
Education of the
will
sheriff
make you believe or to believe.
Look there.
That in every nooks and corner, every village or town or villages or chiefdom in our country, education is top notch. But look at it.
Dorothy,
look at this structure.
You are welcome.
I'm smelling feces.
You see that? Look at it.
This is where
this idiot that said that they've come to rescue. Look at the school. Look at this school. The last time this school was in a perfect condition was President Weah, who built this area. Right? He put it there in a perfect condition. Look, when I tell you that Joseph Numa Boyka is a witchcraft, this old man is evil. Some of you say, "Oh, but what happened? How you can be hard-headed? How will I not be hard-headed? Am I not a human being? Don't I have children? Don't I have family members?" These people lied to you and said they were coming to ensure that they gave you the best. They blew and were pinned. The last time they put pin there was when President Weah was president. These people sit there at the Ministry of Education, don't even have time to even go out to inspect the schools. They think that they say they're doing the St. Teresa, oh, Crystal the Chin, go perform, the people dancing, they say they found them, that just morale. For nothing morale, the idiot called Jaso Jala is on. Yes, I am angry. Sorry. But that's me. Today, I'm angry. I got my first degree in education. I'm an educator. I taught in the classroom. A train 1-2 with paper. So I am passionate when it comes to education. Because education itself is the bedrock of the nation. When our children are adequately educated, they can develop the nation. Look, let me tell you something. You can build a 10-story building. You can have skyscraper all over the place. When the minds are not adequately prepared to manage those 10-story buildings, they will break it down one day. They will spoil it. They will damage it. They will not know the importance of it. You saw what happened to us during the war? Where people were firing Lepo, he said that crown Lepo down there. Where? And I print that how you call Samuel can do Lepo. Your fire boy, we don't want. They went to Hotel Africa. Oh, and that crown man, okay, that movie, they were chasing even the tar on the wall. They were chasing it from there. They were taking Camo and say, oh, the people then they bow, they can't tell where they put it, even in their house, that in their room here, they put where they want for all to drink inside. We drink inside today. People were drinking in Camo. And things that they were doing good, say, yeah, they play where hey, that easy. We drink the Camo, we drink all the water. Oh, they were not meant for on the other side. As soon as they can capture the place, they will capture the for me. That crime man. When you go in the place, say, the people then inside the put wicked. They get small where in their plate because they want for other people then to drink water. They can't be small where in their room there. So we drink all the water. Standing there, the man drinking the water. How you tell the man say, oh man, they think we're drinking that how you call Camo water? Because already the man here not even correct. Drinking the water, he said we drink all. A friend then once say, oh man, he said, no, nobody must tell me nothing before I open fire on somebody. I will drink all the water. He drinking. The man drinking Camo real water. He drinking. All you know is that at somewhere in that place, the people wicked and what have you. Because the mind never developed. Mind will never develop. So bear all the skyscraper, they will break it down. But when the minds are developed, when the children get that particular education from the initial and know the importance, my brother, you can even bear a zinc horse. They will take care of it, they will maintain it, and they will be able to upgrade that zinc horse to the skyscraper. So the mind of the children, that's why you saw, President, we are attach importance to the education sector. I get a video here. We attach importance to the education sector. He attach importance to the education sector because the place that the children should be able to love education, get the basis of education, is from the kindergarten, the dance, the grade school. That's the foundation that the place will know whether the child will, something from that place there. So these people sit in Monrovia. They ride big cars, but look at the schools that our children are supposed to be learning in. Look there. Look. Y'all look. Y'all see it.
All right.
That's some of the things we're talking. Y'all look there.
Okay.
Y'all look.
There will come in another. There should be another class.
You see that?
You can see on the wall.
The people who say they've come to rescue the Liberian people. Look there.
Yeah. The Minister of Education, Federal Liberians.
Let Minister of Education, me show her. Let her here. Let Jaso Jala. You see her. That's Jaso Jala here. That's the one here. That's Jaso Jala. This woman is Jaso Jala. That's the one. Presiding over the education sector of our country that is in a complete shambles.
Advantage.
That's Jaso Jala.
With the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. They sit in Monrovia. They ride.
The places that these people should carry their attention to, they ain't get time. They ain't get time. They get time. They will sit in Monrovia and say the farming school. In the retail company, you pay 500,000. The other one, you do the other one. The other one, you do the other one. The places that these people should look at and begin to pay attention to, no, they're paying no attention to it. I'm not paying attention to it. Jaso Jala, all of them supported the government. You go there, take the Ministry of Education to be her private property. The stealing in that place is not easy. For a ministry to be controlled by the woman, for her to be doing herbal stealing in that place. Look, I said I sit down for long. I say, wow, what happened? And the woman, and she's supposed to get someone sorry for man. The last time, the money that was allocated for how you call this thing, the money that was allocated for the curriculum development in Liberia, that money there, up to now, we know the hair and tail behind it. No, the hair and tail curriculum development in Liberia. I think they some kind of 20,000 or so, or some kind of amount they put there. Curriculum. Well, Liberia, we don't even have a straight curriculum. I can say this for sure. Liberia, we don't even have a straight curriculum. You don't even know what the other school teaching from what the other schools are teaching. We all just confused. We get even straight curriculum. Why you get their own curriculum that they will tell you, say, that they play here, you must be able to take question from. The Ministry of Education get her own. To the extent that even some schools, they get their own syllabus. So everybody get their own syllabus. The school get her own, Ministry of Education get her own. How you call the wire people, they get their own. Confusing our children around the place. When you have a useless government that is presided over by an old man that has not achieved anything in his life, that nobody can point to as far as achievement is concerned, that he has impacted their life. This is what happened. These people lied to you and myself and said they were coming to rescue. Where is the plan for education? It's in their agenda. What are they doing in the education sector? Oh, you want to ask me what President Weah did in the education sector? Akami, hold on. No, just hold on. Yeah, you ain't going there. Just hold on small. Just hold on. Just hold on. Yeah? Let's go to the education sector. Thank you, Honorable. Okay. Let's go here so you can see it. Ask me about what President Weah did in the education sector. Let me show it to you.
Junior Deputy Information Minister of the Republic of Liberia. Welcome to the third episode of the President Weah Thank You series.
Okay.
Today, it's time to look at his achievements in the education sector.
Now, let's just highlight few of it, few parts of it. It's not everything we are going to look at. We're just going to look at few. President Weah achievement in the education sector. Just listening to this one. Fine, just listening. Let me put myself on mute so you can listen. What President Weah did for his people in the education sector. Listen to this. Put myself on mute.
By 2017, the number of school-going persons had increased since the end of the Civil War, but the learning outcomes were poor. Many parts of Liberia were without high schools, and children who attended classes in dilapidated structures were taught with inadequate materials by many demotivated teachers.
Let me show you that. You see that? Under President Weah, the children, one student, one seat. One student, one chair. Under the men who they condemn. No, I'm not saying that this is the perfect most condition, but this is under President Weah. This is what he was able to do. That no way we should have our kids sitting down on ground. I'm not saying the challenges weren't there, but this is what President Weah was doing. Let's go ahead.
Who were irregularly underpaid as low as $2,500 Liberian dollars as a monthly salary. With few weak regulatory mechanisms in place, the unprecedented repeated mass failure of students in WAEC and UL entrance examination consistently exposed the failure of the government education system. President Weah's predecessor had conceded to these enormous challenges and had publicly confessed that.
So before President Weah could take over, even Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf herself said, here is it, that the education system was a complete mess. There were total collapse and failure. Our children used to fail like guinea pig. And you understand? In public tests. Before President Weah could take over. But let's go ahead.
The education system was a mess. President Weah inherited a mess and immediately started to reverse the downward trend the education sector had taken. President Weah immediately lobbied with GPE for $11 million to support early childhood education in 6 counties.
You see that? $11 million President Weah go look for, so that at least to improve the early childhood primary education, because it is where the foundation is built. That particular early childhood, the foundation of the development of the mind, it starts from that particular early childhood education. That's why you see sometimes our people then, they will say it in a comical way. They say those days, 6th grade student can be compared to 9th grade student now. 9th grade student those days can be compared to high school graduate. Or what they say. I don't want to believe that. But again, that's what they will say. So when you have the foundation to be strong and solid, you have good primary education, the child can grow up doing good. Like I gave an example. If you start a child getting to be responsible to do some small things with your supervision, tell them to do their own assignment. Once that child gets to maybe a junior high school, you don't need to tell him to go to look for somebody to come help him to do an assignment. He will do his own assignment. Some of us, for example, that grew up in that particular environment where we never had steady class teacher, When we come from school, that we the one used to do our own assignment. If God bless us, we just see somebody who will look and say, oh yeah, they want correct. Yeah, that ain't there. Because we never had the time to study class teachers. Say, oh my man, yeah, you can't say that. Let me can't teach you. No. Because it started from small. We started being responsible from a very tender age. Do our own assignment. Go around and look for a book. So when the early childhood primary education is strong, that is the foundation. The child will succeed. The child will do something. A correct 7th grade student can go somewhere and represent themselves adequately. So President Weah was able to lobby for $11 million so as to ensure that the early childhood primary education is sunny. This is where we are, fellow Liberians. Let's listen here.
Counties. 300 in-service teachers and administrators were trained, and grants were given to 550 early childhood education schools for learning materials. President Weah has also addressed the secondary education challenge. He has attracted $47 million United States dollars from ADA to enable him construct 3 model high schools in Banga, Kakata, and Ganta cities, and is rehabilitating 100.
Now this school year, Joseph Newman Boyka were brave enough to go to tell us that he the one be. You see, these people had a wicked. Joseph Newman Boyka was brave enough to go to this school and say he going dedicate or put a knee on the Joseph Newman Boyka Secondary School. That he the one build the school. Exactly so, my sister Tenenyika. The former First Lady School that they want to jump in Biana. That Helaba facility that is supposed to better Liberians' children's life. That they play Joseph Newman Boyka because here in West, they can't achieve anything. They are noted for not achieving anything as far as they're concerned. Men who are living on loan after 7, 12 years. So at the end of the day now, the club Marie they jump behind. So you gotta get the bidding. You gotta get the bidding. When Katumu want bidding, she can't go pay her own. The money that she was using to fry color, she was not keeping it. Or she didn't get some. Wicked set of people you see them so. That were 2 of them just looking just how you call a firing squad. You see their faces alone is resemble. You see the face, you just a firing squad. Wickedness in high places. These are the kind of people that we are dealing with. Fellow Liberians. So let's see what President Weah did in the education sector. Let's go ahead.
56 public schools across the country. He is smartly using the funding opportunity to upgrade about 25 public junior high schools to senior high schools to ensure that each education district in Liberia has at least 1 public high school. Construction works are ongoing at the 25 following schools: Dua Gatton and William V. Stockman in Nimba County.
See them? In Nimba County. That is school where Jeremiah Kun went, and then he go dedicate, say, yeah, that just Newman Boyka be. Yeah, they say we get record. Yeah, we don't have records. School that was built by President Weah, they go there, they say they're dedicating that just Newman Boyka building. Let's go ahead.
No more Port Central, Draw, Gibsonville, and Troy public schools in Sano County. Barakan, Bonington, and Guiado in Maryland. Chibokan, Tomwa, and Koyankan in Rewaji. Joseph McGill, Bella Fasama, and Gaga Bukita in Bapulu County. Owens Grove, St. John, and Guillotin in Grand Bassa. Bojize, Zamitown, and Yakatan in Rewases. Kokoya Central High in Bonn, and Bee Public School in Margibi County. Construction works are also currently ongoing at 18 early childhood primary schools across the country. To reduce the high rate of school female dropouts, President Weah ensured that up to $250 United States dollars was given as sponsorship from 9th to 12th grade to each of 3,000 girls in the counties with the highest rates of secondary school dropouts.
You see that? You see what President Weah did? To encourage female, today honor Joseph Newman Boyka, they leave our children to be impregnated by teachers. Honor President Weah, he was giving these girls money to encourage them so that they cannot drop out of high school. So they were giving them almost like, an incentive to encourage the girls' children. But today, what Joseph Newman Boyka is doing, people then raping our boys, and they move our girls and they jump behind our boys. And see this kind of evil? Look at the kind of evil. This is what we're talking about. This is the wickedness that we are talking about. This is what President Weah was doing for you. The men who you condemn. The men who you say, we don't want you. You get 20%, we get you 0%. Look at what he did for the girls. For our girls' children to keep them in school. No, not me. The records are here. Some of these things, we know them already. The reason why we bring you this video, for you to hear and for you to see it, so that it can inform you when you go out there, so that when somebody want to come with Tabata story, you can tell them, say, oh, my baby, go sit down. Don't be that nonsense to me. I'm too informed. I'm too informed. So look at what President Weah was doing in the counties. He was encouraging the females. So you go to school, we give you money, so that at least you can stay in school and be able to learn. That's what President Weah was doing. Let's carry this back small for you to listen.
Use the high rate of school female dropout. Construction works are also currently ongoing at 18.
To reduce the high level of female dropout, especially in affected counties, what President Weah was able to do. Please tell us, Mr. Minister.
Early childhood primary schools across the country. To reduce the
So to reduce the level of dropout among our girls, to even reduce this issue of teenage pregnancies among our girls, what did President Weah do? What did he introduce to the girls? Let's listen.
The high rate of school female dropouts. To reduce the high rate of school female dropouts, President Weah ensured that up to $250 United States was given as sponsorship from 9th to 12th grade to each of 3,000 girls in the counties with the highest rates of secondary school dropouts.
You hear it? Those counties that had secondary school dropout, President Weah said, to encourage our girls, we will give them $200 so that at least they can be able to come back to school. You come back to school, as you're in school, we give you the money. And you'll see what President Weah was doing. No, turn out we fire some of y'all that were responsible for what happened. We know. Some of you that were jumping around, rescue mission. When last you hear rescue people say they even now get cola water to the children there to encourage them for going to school? When? You get a Joseph Newman Boyka where when you look at that man's face alone, a fair looking jelly to say, even flowers, I can't even sit down on his sonny. When you go to the bathroom, flower can't even say, he can't allow flower to sit down on it. Or he can't allow flower to even smell it. The man is mean. When you look at his face, you know that the man, he always in the anger mood, always activated. You see a face, he always activated. Mean man, you see so. He tie a face, a bunch of wood that is not properly, how you call arranged. Very mean. But you see what President Weah was doing for your children? The men who you condemn and say, oh, we don't want a man. Hey, we don't want that rescue we want. Look at the thing what President Weah was doing for the children. Look, on this note, almost one stop here.
Dropouts. President Weah
to encourage female what President Weah did
school in Margibi County.
Now listen here.
Construction works are also currently ongoing at 18 early childhood primary schools across the country. To reduce the high rate of school female dropouts, President Weah ensured that up to $250 United States was given as sponsorship from 9th to 12th grade to each of 3,000 girls in the counties with the highest rates.
$250,000 United States dollars. All of those counties that had the highest rate of female dropout, he gave them that $250,000 and said, y'all give their girls then something. When they come to school, you see them performing, you see them doing well, give them $200. Out of that $250,000 that he gave to each of the counties, he said, out of it, let the children be able to benefit directly. Their girls' children then that will be in school, you're surprised them, you buy their books for them, you buy their, whatever that they need in school, and you also give them some kind of small money so as to encourage them. When you see the female then doing well, call them. It has some kind of lay, 100, give it to them, say, we're giving you the money to encourage you so you can come to school. Because they know at the end of the day, when they are in school and when they complete the school year, they will get a gift. And you see what President Weah was doing. The men who you say not know nothing. The men who you say he not clever. The men who you say, oh, they man, he fool better than he. And you see what he was doing for your children then. No. And you're hearing what he was doing for your children then. I carry back for you to hear a Google.
Was given as sponsorship from female dropouts. President Weah ensured that up to $250 United States was given as sponsorship from 9th to 12th grade.
Yeah, $250 after giving the school almost the county almost 25,000 for those schools. He said each student, the girls, he was very specific. That's why we call him the feminine in chief of the Republic of Liberia. President Weah will forever be the feminine in chief. Joseph Newman Boyka is the destroyer. President Weah is the fixer. Joseph Newman Boyka don't care about your children. He see your girls' children as his slaves. President Weah see these girls' children as the future leaders. People who will take over ministries and agencies. People who will prepare families. People who will be the bedrock of society. That's why President Weah invested in those girls. Today, our girls' children are at risk. Ministry of Youth and Sports, J. Brian McGideon, that they raping, how you call within Makodi. The first man in the history of Liberia to get certificate for raping. Man, Gregor Comer getting certificate, say, oh man, you free. The first time in history. The first time in history for us to hear NSA Deputy Director Peter Bon Jala, whether that born Peter Jala or Peter Bon Jala or who born who, went and raped 15-year-old boy. As I speak to you now, that boy crying on a bunker. Hey, what bunker sour? All the women that you see around, you're not able there. But you take your hell about vein and carry down there. Then you see him with shades. Then you say he's sunny. Then just as Newman Boyka then can take him in the neck, carry him to a hall. You go relax. So in the morning they bring him back. Or late in the night they bring him back. See the wickedness that we're talking about? Look, this government have come to destroy your children. No, we're just talking about the education sector. There are too many things that we can talk about, but just the education sector. Listen.
Each of 3,000 girls to reduce the high rate of school female dropouts. President Weah ensured that up to $250 United States was given as sponsorship from 9th to 12th grade to each of 3,000 girls in the counties with the highest rates of secondary school dropouts. President Weah is about to install an all-inclusive solar panel digital library in 157 public high schools across the country.
157 public high schools, that's what President Weah was about to do. President Weah was only waiting for the election to put solar panel in those high schools and get a digital RAS libraries for them. That's what President Weah was doing. He had already talked to international partners. But now, fellow Liberians, just imagine where we are. President Weah's dream for the education sector was to ensure that every public school in that republic has electricity. That's why he was introducing the solar system. That the children, they must have access to adequate education at all times. That's what he was doing. You allow yourself to be deceived. They lied to you and told you that they have come to rescue. Let's hear from them.
And users will not need
I'm not talking again.
internet
Let me just put
connection.
myself on mute.
All of
so
the
we can listen to this.
157 schools have received $5,000 United States each to prepare the rooms to deploy the digital platform. Since 2018, President Weah has paid $500,000 United States annually as WASS fees for all students taking the exam. Under President Weah, the passing rate of students in WASS and other public exams has improved steadily. President Weah has also made the University of Liberia and all other public tertiary institutions tuition-free to grant the poorest of Liberian students access to higher education. President Weah has sent 30% of the University of Liberia Teachers College and the Teachers Training Institutes to foreign graduate schools to specialize in different sectors of education to improve the teachers training program. The 30% have completed the training. President Weah has completed the rehabilitation and reconstruction of TVET workshops in all 6 multilateral high schools. He has rehabilitated all of the trade workshops at BWI and has constructed TVET workshops at the Kipamos High School. President Weah has removed over 1,000 gross names from the Ministry of Education payroll and has added 3,000 supplementary teachers who have irregularly received 2,500 Liberian dollars as monthly salary. Under President Weah, all public school teachers are paid at least 150 United States dollars gross salary. President Weah has established the Division for Disability and Inclusive Education for the first time at the Ministry of Education. And with the support from the World Bank, 40 teachers were trained to improve their abilities to identify students with special needs. To inspire nation building and patriotism, President Weah has reinstated civics education in a curriculum for Liberian schools. President Weah has developed several education policies to improve and strengthen regulation of the sector, including the Policy on Health School Administration, School Grading and Quality Assessment Tool, PTA policy, and Girls Education Policy, which introduced the recruitment and deployment of 200 guardian counselors in all public schools. All of these achievements cause us to forget that COVID-19 disrupted President Weah's development drive for a whole year. But even during the pandemic, he solicited help from the development partners and launched a COVID-19 Education Emergency Response Plan. Under the plan, lessons were aired by radio. 6,000 plus kits were procured. 150 watch facilities were constructed in public schools. Risk prevention controls were established to create safe environments for the speedy reopening of schools. During the COVID-19 pandemic, President Weah also provided relief packages for about 20,000 private school teachers who were not fortunate to receive salaries like their public school counterparts. Thank you, President Weah.
You listening to the presentation, very clear, uninterrupted. You saw what President Weah was doing? You saw what he was doing? The plan of President Weah was to ensure that our children are well protected. He did not stop there. You know what President Weah was able to put in place? There were people that were trained from both the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Gender. They trained almost about 200 guardian counselors. They call them guardian counselors. You see, look, oh God. Some of y'all, let me just leave it. President Weah understand that for a very long period, our children were at a disadvantage end. These guys were taking advantage of our children. The children, some of these guys, they were very brave to abuse these children in school. I mean, teachers and school authority. So what President Weah was able to put in place was a program where he trained people. They refer to them as guardian counselor. These guardian counselor, they were going to be assigned. In fact, under President Weah administration, they were assigned in various schools. That program was put in place in 2022, 2023. And he assigned them across the country to all public schools. And those guardian counselors, they were there to counsel those children. They will be trained, adequately trained, so as to counsel these children. For example, if they are abused by their teachers and they cannot go to their mothers or go to other people to tell them, those guardian counselors are going to be the eyes and the ears of the government directly in that particular school. That the children could go to those guardian counselors and tell them about issues that they are faced with, or the challenges that they are facing with those teachers or with those schools authority, even their own peers. And those guardian counselors were trained to be able to manage the situation. President Weah trained these people and assigned them in the various schools. That's what President Weah did. I don't want you to believe it. I'm about to bring you that particular stuff for you to see it, the information. So just bear with me. Let me see. Just bear with me. Let me get it here. Okay, let me see. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let me get the stuff here. Just wait. Let me just try to get this here. Just bear with me. Excuse me. Just bear. Let me see. Okay, fine. Okay, that's good. These are generations invitation license 12-week training. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's why that's good. So let's go here. Let's bring this here for you. Here is it. Here's the program. Here's the program. This was a joint program by the Ministry of Education and that of the Ministry of Gender. They were able to train these people to be able to support survivors in schools, because some of the children that are in schools, they've been affected by some of these sexual based violence and all the kind of different things. So the government of Liberia was able to train these people, and they were assigned in these schools. Yeah, right here, we are going to read some parts of it. Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection launches 12-week training of social physical support to SGBV survivors. Here is it. A 12-week training of social support to sexual gender-based violence survivor has been launched by the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. The training, which was launched on Wednesday, August 17, 2022, is aimed at improving the participation knowledge of psychosocial and SGBV in their community. About 40 persons were selected by the Gender Ministry and its partner to undergo the intensive training, which will take place at the Mother Paten College of Health Sciences. You see there? The psychosocial support training program. This is the training program. All of these people that you look at, they were to be trained and they will be assigned in the schools. After these people, there were another 200 group of the call them guardian counselor. Let me go to the guardian counselor. You have seen the first one. This is what President Weah was doing. The men who you condemn and say, hey, you're not doing nothing. Hey, man, not doing nothing. Let's go there. Let me see. Just bear with us. Just bear with us. Let's be able to get this for you. Just bear with us. I'm trying to get the other one, but just while we are trying to get the other one, let me just bring you. This is the program. This is the training that was conducted. This is the training that was conducted by the Ministry of Gender. And this training basically was to be able to help those who were victimized. So let's move on. You see there? Fine. Let me go to the other place that I'm supposed to bring you the other one. I'm trying to look for it, but I will find it. I will try to find it here. I just don't want to take all of the time on looking for this. Let me see. Just bear with me. Let me see. Yeah, just bear with me. I want to. Okay, fine. No, let me see. This is not it. Just bear with me. It's not easy. I want to get this here. Let me see. Yeah, just bear with me. I am trying to get the training, a particular stuff here, but it's like okay, I'm going to get it. I will just mark it down. I will show it to you. We'll talk about it. I'm going to get it. I'm trying to search for it, but it's like I'm not seeing that particular program, but I have it. So the Ministry of Education was able to launch, and the Ministry of Gender, they launched that program where over 200 guardian counselor was trained. They were all trained to go in the various schools and serve as eye of the government. Something which actually helped to reduce teenage pregnancy and teachers molestation of students. But under this government, what are they doing? Our children have become vulnerable. The children are left alone. This is what we are faced with. But fellow Liberians, we will continue to tell you what President Weah was doing for his people. Today, this government have taken over. They have abandoned the people completely. Our students are at risk. All of the places that they're breaking down, you know what is happening now? Do you know how many students are going to be out of school? I want you to sit down and think about all these demolition exercises that is going around. You went all the way in Satan, Test Creek Sinker. You broke down the homes of almost 5,000 persons. Those people that are living in those homes, they get kids that are going to school in the community. Most of the time, especially in those kind of communities, the students will be in school right in the same old community. You broke down the parents' home. The children are forced to migrate from that location to another location. You know what you're doing? That child will not be in school for this year. You made that child vulnerable. You see, some of these demolition exercises that is going on, I want you to look at the implication negatively that is having on our society. When you break down that home, that woman, her 4 children, they were living in, the 4 children attending school in that same community. They attending the school just rep, in the same community because that they place the homework and the force. You get money to tell your children and send them all the way on the other side. You broke down that woman's house. You know what's going to happen? That 4 children that were attending that school, that in the community there, their mother will be forced to migrate from that place to go sleep on somebody's porch, maybe somewhere far. She is taking her children. So those children are supposed to be in school learning. They will not be in school. Because the woman saying get money to pay their way. Maybe the distance that she's going to move to stay with either her sister or some kind of family member of hers. She didn't get money to be paying the children way, to be traveling. Assuming you broke their house in Test Creek Sinker. The woman got to move and then to go to her brother all the way in Bannerville Estate to go be managing. She carry her children there. Do you think that woman will get money to pay her children way back and forth, give them recess from all the way Bannerville to come on 10th Street to that how you call a God children elementary school? You think so? Absolutely not. So what are you thinking about? The children will automatically drop. I mean, their own school business finished. The time they're supposed to be in school, you have exposed them. They are now outside. You expose them now to all kinds of nonsense. But fellow Liberians, we'll talk more on this. Join us tomorrow. We will be here with our panel. Let me just announce to you that the CDC USA will be having her convention, the national convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And all of you are invited. That particular convention is going to be from June the 24th to the 28th of 2026, this particular year. If you are a citizen living in the US, get ready. And at this particular occasion, His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah will be present. So we hope that we all prepare ourselves and get ready to grace this occasion. On this note, my people, I want to say thanks to all of you. If you are a citizen living in Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland, and you are not in our chat room or you are not connected with the chapter, it is about time that you get yourself connected with the chapter. We serve as the chapter chair. Get to us so that we can add you in the chat room, because this convention, DMV alone, is going to be carrying nothing less than 50 persons. Nothing less than 50 persons. Be amongst that 50 and get ready as we move to Philadelphia for that 4 days. Have a wonderful time and interact with our political leader. On this note, my people, I want to say thanks to all of you for your comment, your concerns, and everything. Until we meet again, bye from our end, and I love you all.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg the money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.